Hello everyone, it's Annie and I'm here today with my end of the year book tag video. I'm prepared, okay? I have my little list here, so if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my answers that I already planned for this tag. This tag and the mid-year freakout tag, of course, are two essential tags on Booktube, and they're very fun. All right, so the end of the year book tag. First question is a book I have started but that I need to finish by the end of the year. You guys are gonna be mad. It's Frontier by Grace Curtis. I started this, I believe, in February or March, and I got pretty far in it. I loved it. It has no reason for me not to like it. I just, for whatever reason, was not feeling it. And I just didn't continue. I don't know why. I put it down and I never picked it back up. I'm very disappointed in myself because it's a sapphic sci-fi space western story. Literally the tagline is love, loss, and laser guns. And I mean, it's sapphic, and Grace Curtis is coming out with a new book next year. So I really wanna just finish this book. I mean, it's so short too, like there's no reason for me not to. And I honestly have a feeling that it would be a 5-star for me. So since it's been so long, I'm probably just going to reread what I had already read back in the beginning of the year and then actually finish it by the end of this year, I promise. All right, second question. Do I have an autumnal book to make the transition into the end of the year? So I did. But I'm very confused because I think perhaps the release date has changed. I think it was supposed to be released in October, but maybe it got moved to February. But then I'm not sure if that's like a Canadian versus United States release date difference. I'm not sure. I haven't been able to get my hands on it yet, but what would be my autumnal transition book would be The Moon of the Turning Leaves, which is just an obvious title for this question, by Wabshig Rice, who is, of course, the writer of the amazing Moon of the Crusted Snow, that awesome native-written dystopian novella. So this is its sequel. It takes place 10 years after the widespread blackout triggered the rapid collapse of society in the first book, okay? So no cell service, landline, satellite, or internet, okay? And the steady supply of food and fuel from the south, because this takes place in the north of Canada, has become a thing of the past, all right? And it deals with how they have been surviving and also returning to ways of their ancestors during this time of basically no modern technology. It's just such a great book, The Moon of the Crusted Snow, that I know this is gonna be an amazing book, and I really hope that I can find it. And if anyone knows what's going on with its release date, definitely let me know in the comments. Okay, question 3, a new release I'm still waiting for, is Yours for the Taking by Gabrielle Korn. All right, this is a sci-fi. I don't think it's YA, I think it's adult. It's coming out in December. Let me just get the description up. Okay, so the year is 2050. Ava and her girlfriend live in what's left of Brooklyn, and though they love each other, it's hard to find happiness while the effects of climate change rapidly eclipse their world. Soon, it won't be safe outside at all. The only people guaranteed survival are the ones whose applications are accepted to the Inside Project, a series of weather-safe, city-sized structures around the world. Jacqueline Millender is a reclusive billionaire/women's rights activist, and thanks to a generous donation, she's just become the director of the Inside, being built on the bones of Manhattan. Her ideas are unorthodox yet alluring. She's built a whole brand around rethinking the very concept of empowerment. Shelby, a business major from a working-class family, is drawn to Jacqueline's promises of power. When she lands her dream job as Jacqueline's personal assistant, she's instantly swept up into the glamorous world of corporatized feminism. Also drawn into Jacqueline's orbit is Olympia, who's finishing up medical school when Jacqueline recruits her to run the health department inside. The more Olympia learns about the project, though, the more she realizes there's something much larger at play. As Ava, Olympia, and Shelby start to notice the cracks in Jacqueline's system, Jacqueline tightens her grip, becoming increasingly unhinged and dangerous in what she is willing to do, and who she is willing to sacrifice to keep her dream alive. So this is really different. This is a dystopia, obviously. The cover is breathtaking. I think it's great. And I think since it's sapphic, I'm gonna read it, obviously. So I'm very hyped up for this release. This is definitely my most anticipated release of December. Okay, question number 4. 3 books I want to read before the end of the year. So first, we have The Salvation Gambit by Emily Skrutsky. If you watched my November TBR, you know that I have been reading the Bloodright trilogy by her, and this is her standalone, I think it's a standalone, her sapphic sci-fi book, okay? It just came out this year. I am very excited about it. It's also quite short. The cover, really tantalizing. I love it, love the purple. So, Murdoch has always believed in Hark, the woman who shaped her from a petty thief and low-life hacker into a promising con artist. Hark is everything Murdoch aspires to be, from her slick fashion sense to her unfailing ability to plan under pressure. Together with Bee, a fearless driver who never walks away from a bet, and Fitz, Murdoch's infuriatingly mercurial rival who can sweet-talk the galaxy, they form a foursome with a reputation for daring heists, massive payoffs, and never ever getting caught. Until now. So interesting. They get tied into a sentient warship that styled itself into a punitive god. Okay, interesting. So we have a sentient ship. I like that trope. So, of course, since it's sapphic, I mean, I feel like I'm gonna love it. It's sapphic sci-fi. Those are 2 words that anyone would use to describe me. So I am really, really hoping to get to this book by the end of the year. Another queer sci-fi that I want to get to by the end of the year is also a new release. It just came out in October. It is These Burning Stars by Bethany Jacobs. And this is the first book in the Kingdom trilogy. And oh my god, I need to read it because I've heard it compared to A Memory Called Empire, Baru Cormorant, Nine Fox Gambit, all of those amazing space opera, queer space operas that I need and love and I need injected into me. So if that is compared to these books, I mean, I need to read this. So on a dusty backwater planet, occasional thief June Ironway has gotten her hands on the score of a lifetime, a secret that could raise the kingdom, the ruling power of the galaxy. A star system away, preternaturally stoic Chono and brilliant hothead Essek, the 2 most brutal clerics of the kingdom, are tasked with hunting June down. And tracking all 3 across the stars is a ghost from their shared past, known only as Six. But what Six wants is anyone's guess. It's a game of manipulation and betrayal that could destroy them all, and they have no choice but to see it through. That's all the synopsis says, okay? Very mysterious. This has the potential to be a new favorite, I think, if it holds up to the comp titles that people have been comparing it to. So we shall see. I also would love to read Shoot the Moon by Issa Arsene. It is a historical fiction book. It's light sci-fi, let's say that, and it's sapphic. Duh. So it follows intelligent but isolated recent physics graduate Annie Fisk, who feels an undeniable pull toward space. Her childhood memories dimmed by loss, she has left behind her home, her family, and her first love in pursuit of intellectual fulfillment. When she finally lands a job as a NASA secretary during the Apollo 11 mission, the work is everything she dreamed, and while she feels a budding attraction to one of the engineers, she can't get distracted. When her inability to ignore mistaken calculations propels her into a new position, Annie finds herself torn between her ambition, her heart, and a mysterious discovery that upends everything she knows to be scientifically true. Interesting, okay. Yeah, so it's sapphic, and it's about women in the Apollo 11 mission with some light sci-fi sprinkled in. Like, I definitely need that. I had talked to Issa Arsen, the author, on Twitter, and I have been following the release of this book since forever, and I really need it in my hands right now. So I definitely want to get to this by the end of the year. Question 5, a book that could shock me and become a new favorite. This was a really hard question to answer. I'm pretty good now at kind of being able to tell whether a book is going to be a favorite or not, so I don't think any book will really shock me. But I have had Catfish Rolling by Clara Kumagai kind of on my radar for a long while, and I think that it's definitely flying under the radar and it's very underrated, and I think it sounds awesome. So here's the synopsis, okay? It is magical realism blended with Japanese myth and legend, okay? There's a catfish under the islands of Japan, and when it rolls, the land rises and falls. Sora hates the catfish, whose rolling caused an earthquake so powerful it cracked time itself. It destroyed her home and took her mother. Now Sora and her scientist father live close to the zones, the wild and abandoned places where time runs faster or slower than normal. Sora is sensitive to the shifts, and her father recruits her help in exploring these liminal spaces. But it's dangerous, and as she strays further inside in search of her mother, she finds that time distorts, memories fracture, and shadows, a glimmer of things not entirely human, linger. After her father goes missing, she has no choice but to venture into uncharted spaces within the time zones to find him, her mother, and perhaps even the catfish itself. Very interesting concept. Definitely not something I've heard anything remotely like before. It's listed as young adult. It's also listed as fantasy, mythology, magical realism, sci-fi, and LGBT. So there is some queerness in here, which is great. The cover is gorgeous, and I just think it's such a unique blend of genres that I'm probably gonna like it a lot. And the last question, what are my reading plans for 2024? So I have a couple books that I am really highly anticipating for 2024, okay? The first one is Exodia by Seth Dickinson, who of course is the author of the Baru Cormorant series. I don't know why he's writing a new book and not the 4th book of the Baru Cormorant series, but maybe if he gets good press and good reviews with this, it'll motivate him to write more Baru. But I think this is going to be great. It is a sapphic sci-fi. Okay, very exciting. I also am looking forward to Don't Want You Like a Best Friend, which is a historical sapphic romance, of course, with a Taylor Swift line as the title, which is just impeccable and amazing. I am going to make a most anticipated books for the first quarter of 2024 video, so I'm not going to go into their synopses right now, but I will in that video, which is going to come soon, okay? Probably in December. So those are 2 really highly anticipated books that are both coming out in January. And then just in general, for my reading, I want to make more sapphic reading vlogs on Booktube because I loved making those. They're videos where I read 3 sapphic books and just make a vlog about it. And I did like a lot of them. I think I got up to like 11 and I just kind of dropped off from doing them, but I definitely want to start doing that again. I also want to continue doing my challenges, like the Read Harder Challenge, Pop Sugars Challenge, and the Buzzwordathon. So I'm going to continue what I'm doing, all right? And I'm probably going to make a 2024 goals video as well, closer to the end of this year. All right, so look forward to that. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more bookish videos, all right? And I'll see you next time. Bye!